Jean-Yves, you're kind of an advocate of the topic of data and this whole idea of digitalizing, right? And one of the things that digital transformation promises and provides is lots of data, right? And to Chuck's point, in the past, we either didn't have good data or we had a lot of data, but just had no efficient or effective way to use that data. So as part of the digital transformation process, it seems like a lot of companies are obviously getting into some real-time monitoring because there's sensors that can provide some real-time insights in the production processes and in the customer orders, et cetera. And then the idea is to get to a point where you're making some data-driven decisions that aren't just based on a limited amount of data. By having more of it, you're able to make finer tuned decisions. I mean, what do you think of the idea?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think we like to think as a digital transformation as that's something that just happened the last quarter or it started last year. The reality is the world has been going through digital transformation for the last 3 decades, if not more.
And the speed of it is just hurrying up right now.
Exactly. Sorry.
I just said the speed of those changes is
correct.
It's
just picking up. Exactly. But we look at it in today's context. It means different thing to different industry, but the foundation behind the scene is still being able to process data from many sources, and regardless of the industry you're in, if you're manufacturing, banking, insurance, when you look under the hood, it's always comes down to having a sets of highly integrated processes to collect good data in a timely manner. So this is always the foundation to, getting into more sophisticated, advanced manufacturing, or for an insurance company, having the ultimate UI UX customer experience. When you look under the hood, it's always comes down to collecting data, processing data, and for lots of corporation, the data now is coming from, like Chuck was saying, from many sources. So it could be coming from your shop floor. It could be coming from your vendor. Obviously, it's a fully integrated ecosystem. You got data coming from your vendor. If you work in an EDI mode, your vendor, by definition, are more and more partner and strategic to your operation and manufacturing. So you got your partner on one side, supplier, and you got your clients. If you're a B2B environment, obviously it's a business to business, so connectivity with your partner. All this could be a nice chain of process and data operating in a seamless environment. So this is ultimately the foundation of digital transformation. But at the end of the day, it's still today not technology for technology. I mean, at the end, there has to be business value, and it has to fit in the corporation goals, whatever it fits. You want to become, you want to have the best customer experience or the cheapest product in the market. So it has to be lined up with business objective. And there are many tools in the arsenal, AI being one of them. And AI is one that kind of bring this in our face, because the ultimate AI engine will most likely process data from many sources. And you're talking now with structured data and the whole concept of unstructured data that today we can process. So all this comes down to the top of the pyramid, which is the AI. But at the end, like Chuck was saying, your AI engine will still be a beast to crunch data. So if the data is not right or collected right, you're not going to go very far regardless. So that hasn't changed over time. So
and Jean-Yves, to add to that, so I think for companies, what I've seen in the AI space, because that seems to be the latest buzz and craze, right, is that there's a lot of people out there just trying to get attention. You know, they're talking about AI, and you can do it, use it to do this, or use it to do that. You can use it to write your proposal to your girlfriend, and you can use it to write. I mean, it's crazy the stuff that we're seeing out there, which to me is a lot of noise. I think if one thing I could give to someone who's watching this video is like, okay, you know, we talk about data, and look at getting your data right and break it down by use case. One of the things that I'm seeing that's valuable out there is that companies are saying, okay, let's look at it on a use case basis, because A, more isolated data around that use case or process, and B, they don't have as much data, right, to deal with, and it's more of a controlled environment. So, you know, if you stop and think about it, automation period started, like you said, Jean-Yves, 30, 40, 50 years ago, which is basically how do we utilize these computers for the good, for the better, right? Which we know they're fast, so that drives efficiency. And now we're getting to the point we're going, okay, now how do we take it to another level of speed? And again, it all boils down to data. So the encouraging thing for me is that some of the software providers out there are keeping it more on a simple level to where they can really prove the value of that technology, as opposed to just trying to throw technology at you. Because we all know, if a vendor comes in and says, here's some fancy whiz bang technology, if you don't see the value, you're not going to buy it.